Hi everybody. Listen, this is a big week coming up. So this is addressed to all you air signs, starting with Gemini. Hey, let's dive right in, okay? So what's happening is that on Saturday the 25th, we had a Neptune sextile Pluto. What does that mean? Neptune is always about intuition. It's always about the unseen. It's also about your spirituality. It's the subtle stuff that you pick up from the ether around you. Well, that's sextile Pluto in Aquarius, which is very, very intellectual. And it's exact. It's all about global communication. It's all about, sensing things before they happen, but also how the rest of the world is feeling, perhaps. That happened on the 25th. On Sunday, which is when this recording is coming in, Saturn went retrograde. Now for Saturn, it's stoic. It's hardworking. It's all about doing what you must do. And it's in the sign of Aries, so it really pushes the envelope in that direction. But when it's retrograde, we have to rethink some of the things that we've been taking for granted, some of the actions that we've been taking that are not necessarily all that important. Now, where does this fall in your chart? Well, Gemini, you have Gemini rising in this report. Gemini, moon, ascendant, and sun. Now, Aries is up in your 11th house. It's all about the organizations you interact with. I was going to say intervene, but sometimes you do intervene. But it's also about those people that support you, those people that may be willing to dig into their pockets to support you. And with this particular transit, Saturn is sitting in that 11th house, and it's saying, you know what? We need to rethink some of our activities. And large organizations may be doing just that. Now, here's another really juicy piece of information. On Monday the 27th, the North Node and the South Node change axis points, which means it's changing direction in your life. It's changing the theme. It's changing the subplot. And where is that for you? 9th house is where Aquarius sits for you, Gemini. It's all about expanded thinking. It's all about learning. Could be about travel, foreign countries, etc. I think anthropology falls under the 9th house. And the opposite of that is Leo, and that's in your 3rd house. Expression, the way you get your ideas across, and it could have a little bit to do with your siblings. The South Node is in Leo. It's where you're coming from. The 9th node is where you want to head. So you are into, right now, in this year, thinking about how you can expand your worldview. Now, there's more to come. On the 29th, we have the Capricorn full moon. And for you Geminis, that parks itself in the 8th house of transition. The full moon means a culmination point. You're ending one thing and beginning another. It could be anything. But the full moon is only in Capricorn for a little while, because immediately it jumps into Aquarius. And where is that? We were just talking about it. It jumps into your 9th house. So a decision might be made about a trip, a decision, a culminating decision, something that you've been working on, possibly about education, about, if you're expanding, your trajectory academically. It could also be that you're done with one area of expertise and you're moving into another. It can also have to do with your spirituality. You might be changing religions. But whatever this is a fundamental leap. And this full moon is part of it. Now, wait a minute, there's more. Okay, so not only do we have the full moon in Aquarius, the moon will be parking itself directly next to Pluto. Pluto is change it, make it go bigger, louder, so we can move it out of the way and replace it with something new. The moon in Aquarius will be parking itself, even by degree, next to Pluto, which, by the way, will be interacting with the sun in Leo as it conjuncts Jupiter in Leo, which is in your south, in the area of your south node. And that has to do with your third house of getting your ideas across, sharing your insights. It's all happening at once. And this is a powerful, powerful transit. If you're going for interviews, if you are publishing a book, if you are trying to buy the book rights for a play, any number of things where your ideas and your written ideas and your verbal ideas, even if you're an artist of some sort, are very, very important. Now, where you're headed is into that area of expanded thinking, enlarging your career goals, possibly enlarging your view of some important aspect of learning. But the important thing is that you are needing to express yourself in the most powerful way possible, because with Jupiter involved here, it's drama. You can't take a back seat, people. It's a very important time for you Geminis, and anybody with Gemini rising in particular. Okay. Then on Wednesday the 31st, the moon, the generalized moon, will move into Pisces. And where is that? That's in the area of your 10th house, the top of the chart. It's all about your great and glorious career. The moon will be focusing you in on that, and things start to settle down. You can start to take a deep breath and realize that nothing happens overnight, because that's the energy that Pisces will deliver to you. It's a service-oriented, caring placement when you have Pisces on the midheaven like this. And so it's a good time to regroup and work on your strategies, but to also relax and calm down. That's the news for till the end of this month. This is a forecast that goes from the 25th, but also the 26th to the 31st. I'm including the 25th because I felt like it. I think it's important. Okay, Gemini, let's take a look at the oracle card that you need to see, and then we'll add some tarot cards to it as well. Gemini, 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 Gemini. Purification. So it's very important for you to take care of your body, drink plenty of water, get liquids into you, electrolytes, whatever that is you do on a daily basis. But it's also about paying attention to your thoughts. Are you your worst enemy? You put yourself down when you think about what you're doing? Are you needlessly frightening yourself? Gemini, 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 yay. Use your intuition at this time. The High Priestess. Queen of Cups is a water sign, but you need to dig deep into your emotions, whatever gender. Pay attention to how you're feeling, because doors are opening for you. Keep yourself calm and stable, hydrated, and eat decent meals. The Sun card comes up. It's lucky. It's bodacious. You might get some good news. It's healing. It's balancing. This is the Temperance card. Two different court cards come up. The Queen of Swords. This is the intellectual card. This also represents Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And the Queen of Wands is Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. Fiery, determined, and aggressive. Time to take the bull by the horns, so to speak. And you will be emotionally improving. You'll be feeling better about everything all around. Okay, Geminis, I wish you luck. I want you to have a great week. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Take care. Hi, everybody. How are you? This is for Libras, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Let's just jump right in. Okay, so a lot of things are percolating this week. Maybe in a more intense way than even last week when we had all those various planets at 4 degrees. On Saturday the 25th, Neptune links up with Pluto. And Neptune is elusive. It is intellectual, but it is also very, very, very intuitive. It is in the sign of Aries, which is dynamic. It pushes us to pay attention to our intuition. It links arms in a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. These two are very comfortable together, air and fire, and they make an exact combination in degree. This is all about pushing ideas, intuitive ideas, into the world. Some people talk about it being identified with global communication or practical earth spirituality. I'm not sure how this will play out exactly. I don't see Aries or Aquarius necessarily being quote unquote practical. I see them veering toward thinking outside the box and using the intuitive gifts that are available. But we shall see. On Sunday the 26th, Saturn will be in the sign of Aries as usual, but it will go retrograde, which means that the very practical Saturn and the very dynamic, somewhat aggressive Aries put on the brakes. And where is that in your chart? It's in your 7th house. It's in long-term partnerships, business, and romantic. There may be something going on in that area of your life where you need to step back and think about your next steps. And I think it's a good thing. And this will go on for a little while. So just relax into it, because it's about managing your expectations too. Where do you want to go with this particular arrangement? Now, the next thing that's happening, which I think is major, is on Monday the 27th, we have a change of direction. Everyone will experience this differently, but we can hearken back to 2008. What was happening in your life at that time? Now, I'm not saying details. I'm saying patterns. What was the pattern that you were experiencing? Did you decide to go back to school? Did you decide to change careers? Did you leave a marriage? What was the big story of that time? Because, as I keep saying to people, this is a situation of rinse and repeat. So, where is the North Node? The North Node is in your 5th house of creativity, your children, and your romantic aspirations. This is where you're headed. And it's in the sign of Aquarius, so it's very inventive. The South Node is in Leo, in the 11th house of groups and large organizations and your dreams. Maybe your dreams have changed. As you push toward this North Node, you might find that things are shifting for you, that the dreams you held over the last few years are not sufficient. Now there's more. Really, I'm not kidding. We can say that on top of all of that, on the 29th, which is Wednesday, we start out with a Capricorn full moon in the 4th house of home and family. So it's a culmination point. Something's happening in the home and family. Maybe you finished repairs, or maybe you have a person moving in with you. But what's really going on is that full moon pushes into the 5th house of romance, children, the creative arts, or your creativity. Even if no matter what it is you do that's creative, you'll be emphasized. But the full moon is moving in there and saying we're tying up loose ends also, because it's a full moon. But there's more. This full moon, as it moves into Aquarius, is positioning itself very close to Pluto, which is blow it up so we can make room for something new to come in. Then on top of it, we have what we call a cazimi between the Sun and Jupiter, where they're pancaked together in the same sign and degree, which is very, very dynamic energy-wise. And it's in your South Node, and it's in the sign of Leo, which is opposite to Pluto in the 5th. So there could be a push-pull between your creative aspirations and maybe a group you're involved in. Maybe you're involved with an artist group and they don't like the work that you're making right now. Any number of things where there's a tug of war. But this is all happening around this North and South Node, forcing you possibly to take a new position, or to take a new stance, or to stand up for your values. On Wednesday the 31st, the moon will move into Pisces, settling things down a little bit. And it's a regular moon, and it's in the 6th house of work, how you work, where you work, when you work, and your wellness. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you doing your due diligence with going to the doctor regularly? Whatever you do. That's coming up as well. So this week is a dynamo. I think you will feel it intensely. I think this will carry on for months to come. The North and South Node juxtaposition is not going away. I'm trying to make this interesting, but it is interesting, but it's also very puzzling. So let's take a look at an oracle card for you and see what the focus might be as we move forward. So of course this is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I mentioned that. I always try to reiterate that. And oh, by the way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like what I'm talking about. Are you interested in moving forward on a project that you've not been able to? Are you asking for answers? Whatever it is, it's yes. This is the Hindu god of all goodies and beautiful things and gifts. And this energy is saying, yes, you can do this. Okay, let's take a look at a few tarot cards. Okay. There will be an explosion of new financial wellness coming your way, or some furniture, or paintings, or some goodies that you've been hoping for. The 10 of Pentacles. Creative abundance is around you, possibly a pregnancy as well. If you don't know about that, or you have a relative very close to you who might be pregnant. This could be the case also. There could be a little bit of an argument as it relates to that. Five of Wands. King of Wands is Sag, Leo, or Aries, and this is a dynamic energy field, not necessarily, it's non-gender specific, but this is the need to take control of any disagreements that rail on you regarding your fertility or your fecundity or your ability to produce, even if you're producing paintings. You have to stand by your own code of ethics, your own desires, your own ability to move forward in time and space. You have the skills, the training, the spiritual know-how to take care of your life and the people around you, and to do the work you're meant to do. So, all you lovely Librans, I wish you a great week. Please drop me a line. I'm always saying that. I mean it. And if you have any questions about your chart or how to look at it, I could help you. And also, like, share, and subscribe. Take care. Hello, all you Aquarians. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Let's dive right in and take a look what's going on here. Because in some ways, this particular week is really all about you and about what's happening in your natal chart. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Now, just a preamble. On Saturday the 25th, we have a very intuitive matchup between Neptune in Aries and Pluto in Aquarius. Remember, I said it's about you. And that falls in your first house, and I'm looking for Aries here. Your third house of how you express yourself. So this is a time when who you are and what you are really, and how you describe yourself and what you wear and how you act in public really matters. But you're also in a period of time when you can really suss out situations and use all your tools to your best advantage. On Sunday the 26th, we have a Saturn retrograde. It stops the wheel. Saturn is in Aries. That's in your third house of self-expression and siblings. And it's a period where you're going to be allowed to review how you've been operating in your various spheres of influence, no matter what you do in the world. It's review, rework, and revise. And that's what's coming up for Saturn. And Saturn is practical, hardworking, and likes to follow the rules, particularly if it's in Capricorn. But Saturn rules Capricorn, but it's in Aries. So Aries is, very heavy-handed about it will be done this way. But with retrograde, we're rethinking all of those edicts. Maybe there's another way to talk about your work. Maybe there's another way to describe the book you're writing. So, moving right along. On Monday the 27th, we have one of the most powerful energy shifts we've encountered in a long time. The North Node moves into Aquarius. Remember, I talked about you before. It's in your first house. It's all about you. And it's opposite the South Node in Leo. Now, that's in your seventh house of long-term partnerships. There can be an emphasis at this time on who you are, what you are, and how it relates to your partner, whether it's business or otherwise. Romantic, it could be. So this is a big shift. The last time we experienced this was in 2008. And it behooves you to look at patterns from that period of time. On the 29th, that's Wednesday, in addition to this particular North Node shift, because we're all changing because of it, and that's on Monday, the full moon, which is a culminating moon, which means we're ending projects, putting things to bed, moving on to other things, moves into Capricorn. And Capricorn is in your 12th house. Very, very meditative, a lot of deep thinking, a lot of recalculating because of the Saturn energy retrograding. And Saturn rules Capricorn. But the full moon only stays in Capricorn a little while, and then it moves into, you guessed it, Aquarius in your first house. And so you are changing, you are putting something to rest. Maybe you're changing the way you dress, the way you appear, what you do in the world. And then the South Node is focusing on your long-term relationships, what they are for you, how they work in your life, all of that stuff. Now, we're not getting rid of the South Node. It's part of this picture. But the direction you're headed in has to do with your self-expression, whether it's through your career, whether it's through some side activity you're involved in, whatever it is, it's going to be very important, and it's tied into your identity. Now, simultaneously, hey, we're not done here. This moon, when it moves into Aquarius, is positioning itself very close to Pluto. And Pluto in Aquarius is loud, it's boisterous, it wants to change everything. It wants to blow things out of the water so it can make room for new stuff. Whether it's stuff, emotions, experiences, what have you, it's affecting your energy field and your direction at this time. Then, to make it even more interesting, they're all interacting with the Sun, which is cazimi to Jupiter, which means that these are two planets in the same sign, same degree. They're pancaked together and they create a double force of energy, and it's in the sign of Leo, and it's in that 7th house of long-term partnerships. Is your partner changing? Excuse me. Is your partner ready for a change? Does your partner want to move? Does your partner want to create a new, and this is a romantic relationship, are they looking to expand that relationship with you? Are they looking to expand their careers? Something is going on in the partnership realm. So this is all occurring simultaneously over the 27th, 28th, and 29th. And the energy will continue to reverberate for days to come. Then on Wednesday the 31st, we get a little bit of a break. It doesn't mean all of the cazimis and the North and South Node antics are over, but the moon moves into softer, gentler, more quiet, a little bit more receptive Pisces. And Pisces for you is in the 2nd house. It's all about practicality. It's about your funding. It's about your income. It's about how to make more. It's also about how to balance your books, to pay some bills, to find some money, to do some really beautiful things in your life. So, that's a story for this week, Aquarius. And I hope that this makes sense for you, because if you have questions, please think of dropping me a line at cottagetarot.com. So let's take a look at the cards and see how they're interacting with what we've just talked about. Aquarius, 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 Aquarius. What is happening here? This has been coming up a lot. Purification. So it's really important for you to take care of your body, but to also get some control over the way you think about yourself. Negative talk, Aquarius, is not going to get you anywhere. We're in a period of time when manifesting is possible. So the more positive, the more bright-eyed, bushy-tailed you are, and that includes getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, blah, 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 is a very important thing for you. Because this is a blessed new beginning for you. The Ace of Cups, the Queen of Wands, is a pushy personality who can support your dreams. Non-gender specific. Three of Wands. You can see where your assets lie. You see where your benefits are coming from. Three of Wands. There's a potential for enormous growth, and it can benefit the family on all levels, including extended members. Ten of Cups. Maybe you're thinking about going on a vacation that includes everybody. You're thinking about a cruise, or you're thinking about doing something dishy, like bringing everybody together for a big party. Yes, there's been heartbreak. Maybe there'll be somebody that can't be included. But there is a possibility of a new job. Ace of Pentacles. It won't happen right away, but it's coming down the pike. And lastly, you have to be your own best friend. You need to take charge of things and make sure things are managed well. So Aquarius, until next time, which will be after the 31st, take care and have a great week. Hello, all you Cancers. I hope you're well. This forecast is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and this goes from the 26th to the 31st. I will add in the 25th, but that's not really technically part of this, but I had to talk about it because it's sort of the capper. So let's jump right in. On Saturday the 25th, we had a Neptune sextile Pluto. Neptune is very much about intuition, and Pluto is about blowing things out and up and around to make change occur. Neptune is currently in fiery Aries and will be there for 27 years, and Pluto is in think out of the box Aquarius. These two like each other. We're starting to think in terms of how do we intuit the situations that are flying around us right now. How do we care for and deal with some of the humanitarian causes and issues that we are very, very worried about? So that's happening on the 25th. On Sunday the 26th, Saturn, which is in Aries and is very fiery, even though it's a, Saturn rules Capricorn, practical, hardworking, follows the rules, goes retrograde. So in this case, Saturn is saying, wait a minute. I know we said we had a list of rules, but maybe we should revise them. Okay, so we will. Where does this fall in your chart? It's in your career area. So something that has been working is being shifted, possibly by the higher-ups that you are working for or with. So that's an important aspect of what's occurring this week. Now, the big news is the change of energy that's occurring through the North Node and South Node. It's the axis where North Node is in Aquarius, and across from it, the South Node is in Leo. These two signs create an energy field. We've moved out of Pisces and Virgo and into this think outside the box energy of Aquarius and the dramatic, dynamic sign of Leo. Now, where it falls for you is that Aquarius is in your 8th house. That's your north node. And the south node is in your 2nd house of finance. So maybe a lot of effort and energy has been put into earning more money. But what you're moving toward is some sort of transitional situation. Maybe you're moving. Maybe you're going to move out of state. Maybe you're moving across the world. Maybe you're changing something very integral to your identity. It could be any number of things, but the focus will be on the 8th house. In traditional astrology, and I'm not saying that I do that, but traditional astrology emphasized that the 8th house was about sex, death, and we use that term euphemistically, and taxes. But I also feel like it is any transition, buying a car, inheriting money, finding that there's a bank account stuffed somewhere with money that somebody put away for you. Any number of issues. I had a friend who had a packed 8th house natally, and she still is, as far as I know, a midwife. So she would help birth babies and bring them into the world. If there was never a transition as powerful, there's no other transition that can be more powerful than that, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so that's happening on the 27th. We have not had this particular transit since 2008. So I want you to look back and look at what happened at that time. Look at the patterns. What were you doing? What was happening to you at that time? Now, something else is happening that's relatable to the North Node in the 8th house, and then the South Node in the 2nd house of finance. On Wednesday the 29th, we have a full moon in Capricorn. It starts out in Capricorn in the 6th house of work. It moves into Aquarius. Oh no, I take it back. It starts out in the 7th house of long-term relationships. Partners, romantic and otherwise. Then it moves into this full moon into Aquarius in your 8th house. So the full moon is a culminating moon. It's like you're tying up loose ends. So maybe you've been packing and now you're moving. Okay, I'll buy that. But what else is happening? Simultaneously, this moon sits very close in proximity to Pluto in your 8th house. So there's an emotional resonance. There's something going on. It's not just everyday, workaday issues in that 8th house. There's a major change going on. At the same time, the moon and Pluto are interacting with the Sun in Leo and Jupiter in Leo, which are in a cazimi position where the Sun is in direct sign and degree with Jupiter. It's dynamic, it's loud, it's powerful. It's in your 2nd house of income. Are you changing your life course because you've been offered a high-powered position? Are you changing your life course because you inherited a bucket load of money and you're going to go raise sheep in Nevada? What is going on? Because the cazimi is kapow kapow, and Pluto, very close to the moon, is an emotional firecracker. Life is changing in a dramatic way, And I can't wait to hear how that plays out for you. Cancers, and this is about you, all day long, sun, moon, and rising are in for some major shifts that will occur over the next few days. And it is dynamic, it is dramatic, and there is no way to get around it. You will be possibly, I'm not going to say this is necessarily going to happen to you, but you could suddenly be offered a position that you cannot turn down. Even if you are retired, even if you aren't even working in that field at this time. And there's something about long-term partnerships that are going to be absolutely blow your mind. In whatever fashion it occurs, it will be fascinating, to say the least. Then on Wednesday the 31st, Cancer, we move into a water sign that will resonate really well for you when the moon moves into Pisces. It's all about expansion. You're growing in some way, taking a course, learning something new, studying something new. It will be something that's set up for you. You might be getting an opportunity to travel or go back to school or take something online. I don't know what it means, but it will rest and rejuvenate you. Because over the next week, it's unbelievable. And a little bit nerve-wracking. So, Cancer, let's take a look at the Oracle card and see what is happening as it relates to this reading. Cancer, 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 Cancer. Pay attention to what people are saying. Keep quiet and listen and stay aware. Just take it all in and use your intuition to see how this plays out. Be very diligent in your eavesdropping, so to speak. Do not go to sleep now. And I use that metaphorically. Stay on your toes. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. 10 of Cups indicates abundance, happy family, doing well in the world. You have a lot of anxiety right now. You do not know where to put your foot and which direction to step. You'll be fine. When this card comes up at first, it's a guidepost. But yeah, you're a little anxious. Income will come flowing in, but you'll be spending a lot as well. 6 of Pentacles. There could be some discussions and disagreements about what you should be doing with money, with a partner possibly. 5 of Wands. A message could be coming in relating to your income. The Page of Swords, if you do get a windfall, don't overreact, wait, and as I said, listen. Take some time to really pay attention and don't move too quickly on anything right now, because doors are opening for you and it could be a tad overwhelming. Cancers are sensitive. They are like sponges. They pick up information from the air. You've done all the work. You've got all your ducks in a row. Let's see what happens next. Okay, Cancerians, please have a great week. If you have questions, drop me a note, cottagetarot.com, and like, share, and subscribe. It's free. Okay, take care. Hello, Scorpios. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Listen, I have a lot of information for you. Now let's get moving on it. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. On Saturday the 25th, Neptune in Aries will sextile Pluto in Aquarius. This is very intuitive information flowing through the airwaves. Neptune is about intuition, it's about spirituality, but it's also about picking up information out of nowhere. But it's in Aries, so it's demanding that we pay attention to our intuition. As it sextiles Pluto in Aquarius, it's a very positive connection, but Pluto is in the sign of very intellectual Aquarius, and it wants to make a change. It wants things to become more humanitarian, more dynamic. Pluto in Aquarius is using research, science, and general know-how to make life better. On Sunday the 26th, Saturn will retrograde in Aries in your 6th house of work and health. There are opportunities to revisit some of the plans you made that relate to the work you're doing, as well as how you're managing your well-being. And that's a good thing. And this will go on for a number of weeks. Now, the juicy stuff. This is coming right at you, so take some notes if you need to. On Monday the 27th, everything shifts. We have been living with a north node in north and south node in Pisces and Virgo. Now the north node has moved into Aquarius, and the south node is in Leo. More dynamic, more vocal, more in your face, and more of everything. The north node in Aquarius is think outside the box, and the south node in Leo is about, developing your dramatic side to its utmost potential. Now, where is this for you? Your north node is in the 4th house of home, family, mother, your traditional values. The south node has been sitting up in your 10th house. That's where Leo is. So, even though you will still be paying attention to your great and glorious career, because the south node is there, you will be putting more focus on everything and anything to do with your home life and your family and the extended family. But there's more. Go back to 2008 and ask yourself what the patterns were for that period of time. What were you doing? How were you maintaining? What was the emphasis? Were you moving, farming? Everything was status quo. What was happening to you at that point? Because something very relatable to this particular transit occurred then, and it's doing the same thing this time around. Additionally, the moon, which the full moon starts out in Capricorn in your 3rd house of expression, moves into Aquarius in the 4th house of home and family. That full moon. So there's some project that's been occurring in your home, in the area of the homestead, so to speak, that is being tied up, is being wrapped up, so to speak. Simultaneously, Pluto sits there. So it's not just tying up loose ends, it's also changing things in a very, very dynamic way so that you can live a different kind of life. As we're talking about this, the other thing that's happening is we have a cazimi, which means a joining together of 2 planets in the same sign and element. A cazimi of the sun in Leo, dum da da dum, the king. conjunct Jupiter in the same sign, same element and degree in Leo, parking itself in that area of your life that's all about your great and glorious career. So while you're trying to focus on your home and family and maybe building, I don't know, a new structure on your land, or buying property in Maine, or moving to Tunisia, your career is doing something unbelievable. There are shifts and changes that need your attention. It's all happening over the next few days. And I would really love to hear what's happening with you Scorpios, because it might be that something you thought you had put to bed is coming back online. You suddenly have become a celebrity. I don't know, but this is big. And then for you Scorpios, a little respite when Pisces, the moon goes into Pisces on Wednesday the 31st, and your fifth house of love, romantic love, children, creativity, anything that's related to playtime will be the focal point. And you will do well to pay attention to what's going on in that house, because it will give you a sense of rest, and for some of you, rehabilitation after the week we will go through. So that's the news astrologically. Let's take a look at the oracle card, and then I'll throw some tarot cards on that. Okay, what is going on here? Scorpio, 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 Scorpio. Retreat into nature, I'd say. Take a walk to the park if you live in the city. Get thee to the woods. Smell the flowers, hug a tree. It's very grounding, because you have a lot happening, and you need the energy that comes from being in nature. Put your feet in some salt water. Go to the beach, stand by the surf and listen to it. Sit down in the sand and just listen to the sound of the waves as they come in. Scorpio, 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 Scorpio. An old friend comes to your rescue. 6 of Cups. They are tied to your career in some way. 8 of Pentacles. It's time to act. 2 of Swords. No more sitting on the sideline. Many of you Scorpios are artists, creators, makers. Even if you have a very intellectual job, you are doers. It's time to make hay while the sun shines, as the farmers always said. You don't want to cut hay when it's raining. The 9 of Cups, productive, abundant, and lucky. You're going to be taking some short trips. 8 of Wands. You may feel a little down in the dumps. There's something bothering you. You got to just press on. Don't get caught up in the emotions of this. Just do it. Because this is two cups are standing. Not all is lost. You've got it. You've got this nailed. You're okay. You're going to be juggling 2 projects simultaneously. And lastly, it's a healing period for you. You're moving into wellness. Scorpios, drop me a line. Let me know how you're doing. I care about all of you deeply. I don't know any of you out there except maybe a few friends, but I do know that Scorpios have gone through a lot in the last few years, but there's joy connected to what's happening next. Also, like, share, and subscribe. I can't emphasize that enough. And on that note, have a great week. Take care. Okay, last but not least, Pisces. This is for Pisces Sun, Moon, and Rising, and this forecast goes from the 26th to the 31st. Check in with me also after the 31st for the next report. But in the meantime, let's focus on what's going on with you now. Okay. So I always feel like it's important to have a capper on this report. So I'm going backwards a little bit. On Saturday the 25th, Neptune, which rules Pisces, is in the sign of Aries. Very dynamic, intuitive hits. We're all getting these. I don't care whether you believe in it or not. We have intuition and we can use it. It's positively connecting, doing what we call a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. So you have this dynamic energy of using your intuition, and it's working with Pluto that says, hey, folks, we're in Aquarius. We can think in different ways. We can invent or reinvent all kinds of things. It's about global community. It's about helping those that have less. It's about coming up with unique ways to do that. I've been watching a lot of different podcasts and reading about different ways of helping the homeless with housing that pops up, that provides heat, that keeps homeless people off the ground when it's freezing cold. Fascinating. So I urge you to check that out if you're interested. But that's the kind of energy we're talking about. If one of us is hurting, we're all hurting. That's the attitude. And that's the attitude of that particular transit on the 25th. On Sunday the 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, by the way, Saturn, which is very practical, which rules practical Capricorn, earthy practical Capricorn, is now in the sign of dynamic, somewhat aggressive, take no prisoners, Aries. So rules are to be followed, organization is paramount, and yet it has gone retrograde. And it's retrograde in your financial sector, the second house. Well, what does this mean for you? It means that you may have been doing all the right things, but you need to rethink your trajectory. It's allowing you to review, revise, and redo. And I think it's great. So that's going to be coming up for you. Okay, Pisces, there's more. On Monday the 27th, the big shift occurs. We've been in our North Node, South Node axis in Pisces and Virgo. And you were involved in that because your sun sign is Pisces, sun, moon, or rising. But now the North Node has moved into Aquarius. And where is that in your chart? It's in the 12th house of spirituality, intuition, past lives, introspection, deep secrets. The South Node, which is opposite that, is where you've sort of been spending a lot of time. And it's in the area of work and health. And Leo is there. So you've been putting a lot of dynamic energy into that part of your life. But now the focal point will be this more intuitive, that's why I mentioned Neptune. More Neptunian energy that's packing into that 12th house part of your life. You're sensing things that you maybe didn't before. You're feeling a need to walk quietly through the woods and contemplate the acorns that you see lying on the ground. Whatever. You might be wanting to go to the beach and just listen to the waves. Now, the last time we had this particular axis between Aquarius and Leo was in 2008. The patterns are important, so look that up and see what you were up to, because this is repeating itself. Then on Wednesday the 29th, and I've heard some astrologers saying the world will look different. Well, they said that about Monday, but I think the real shift occurs on the 29th, on Wednesday. Now, we have a full moon in Capricorn, and for you, that's in your 11th house of organizations, large groups, and even your dreams and wishes. It's a culminating point. There may be some work you've been doing with an organization that's coming to an end, or you're finishing a project. Maybe a dream that you had, you've worked on, and you made it happen. Okay. But then the full moon, which is a culminating moon, moves into Aquarius in that 12th house. And you're also tying up loose ends as it relates to some spiritual ideology or an intuitive idea that you've been working on, or something that relates to something very deep in your secret well. Maybe you've done time in prison. Maybe you had a hospital stay and it's over now. But this is hearkening back to 2008. What was going on with you then that relates to this 12th house? Now there's more. Oh yeah. Simultaneously, this moon in Aquarius will park itself right next to Pluto. So this is no quiet little juxtaposition. Oh, no, no, no. It's noisy. And Pluto likes to blow things around, whether it's with wind, noise, whatever, and announce itself. So if you've got any secrets that you've been stowing from a partner or your family or the world in general, that you're somehow, maybe you're a really prolific writer and you haven't sent out any manuscripts. This is coming to an end. You're going to be in full throttle as it relates to that 12th house. And if you don't understand this and you need information, contact me and I can point you in the right direction as far how you can get that information. cottagetarot.com is how you reach me. Okay. Then, to make it even more juicy, well, I'm not done yet. Your South Node is in Leo. And that's where you've sort of been putting all your effort and energy in that area of work. But there's a cazimi. So the Sun is in Leo. It's the same degree and element as Jupiter. And the two are pancaked together. They're in the same, I don't know, candy box, so to speak. And that area of your life, even though you think you're putting more focus on the 12th house of your spirituality, your secrets, your tying up loose ends in all of those areas, now this cazimi is saying, hey folks, look over here. Because there's work to do in this workplace. Your health needs work. Your wellness needs work. You need to drink more water and dance, or gosh, I don't know what it is. And as far as the work, it's about how you work, when you work, where you work. That's a big emphasis for you at this time. So that'll all be lighting up. It's almost like you're plugged in the Christmas tree. You plugged it in and all the lights went on at once. Now, on Wednesday the 31st, Pisces, this is important for you. The moon will go into Pisces. It'll be in your first house if that's your rising sign. But wherever the moon or the sun sits in your chart, it will be emphasizing that area of your life. And I think it will give you a little bit of rest following all the excitement that we're sure to have over this week. So Pisces, let's take a look add an oracle card and see what else needs to be paid attention to. So Pisces, 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 Pisces. Whatever it is, keep your cool and choose peace. Yogananda is the card, and I believe that these are accurate. You may be feeling like you can finally take a deep breath. Things are emotionally starting to settle. You're feeling more content. That's the 8 of Cups. Now we have the 9 of Cups. There are benefits coming your way. There's some very juicy opportunities, particularly since you'll be rethinking your financial portfolio. The 6 of Pentacles means money is somehow coming to you, but you will be spending it on a project as well. 9 of Swords means you've been spending some sleepless nights and worrying about everything, and that's not uncommon for Pisces, because after all, they're opposite Virgo, and Virgo are the warriors of the zodiac. The Queen of Pentacles means this is an earthy, supportive energy for you, whether it's a person or not. The Pentacles say there will be enough food, enough money, etc. There's an offer coming in, Knight of Cups. It could be an offer of love. It could also be a job offer. It could be some kind of financial offer. You've got your ducks in a row, so you're ready for anything that comes. This guy's holding up the wand. It's the 9 of Wands. This is hard work. You've done your work. And lastly, you're separating away from something that no longer serves you. The 5 of Swords. Okay, so let us think positive thoughts. Make sure you get plenty of rest. Take time out to breathe. And let me know how your week is going. I'm very curious. Pisces, take care and be well. Bye-bye.